I want to do one more thing in this class. I'm going to keep it basically the same. I'm going to keep the same functionality. First of all, this is Java 8, so we don't need this. We can just use the diamond notation for the implementation. And here I am going to, I'm going to listen to NetBeans. I'm going to replace with null safe equals. If you remember, when I get the ID, that ID is actually, even though it corresponds to an integer, it's actually an object. So the better way to do that is to replace it with a null safe equals. Okay, and likewise, I think it's over here too. Replace with null safe equals. All right, and the last thing I'm going to do is, just so I can beef up my practice with Java 8, I'm going to change this stuff into Lambda expressions. Oh, and before I forget, all of these methods are synchronized. That means if you have the same object and you're trying to call the add item method on that same object in different threads, it will not let you do that at the same time. One method will complete before the other. Okay? So synchronization is a way to help with thread safety. All right, so all these methods are synchronized. So let me go ahead and see what add book does. I have to change this product to book here. And let me see if I have to do that. Okay, I already did that there. There I need to do it. Okay, I think it's only in those two places. There may be some more that we find out, but let me go ahead and change these to Lambda expressions just to brush up on my Lambda expressions. You can see that we're iterating through these items here, and we're checking if the ID of the book is equal to the ID of the item. Okay, so basically we're checking if there is a book, if this book is in the item list, essentially. Basically, if this book is in your shopping cart, that's what we're checking for. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a list of shopping cart items, and I'm going to call it matching items. And I'm going to get a list of all the items that match this book. Now, there should only be one if it's a shopping cart. But I'm going to take care of that after I get the list. Okay, and you can do it several ways, but I'm going to get the list first, and then just assume that if it has any items at all, it doesn't have more than, it has at most one item. All right, maybe it'll be more clear if I just do it. Items, I'm going to change this into a stream. And then I'm going to filter this stream on a predicate. And basically, the predicate I want here is this one. So I'm going to copy that. And here's how I'm going to do that. I'm going to say item. I'm looking at the current item. That says I'm looking at the current item. And I'm going to test if the book for that, the ID of the book for that current item is the same as the ID for the parameter I'm passing in. Okay, so that's going to filter those out. It's only going to give me the items in that shopping cart that match this predicate. Okay, and I have to, before I can do anything, I have to turn this back into a collection. And I believe the way to do that is to do collect and collectors.toList. I think that will work. I am getting an error there, but I think it's just because I have not imported that. Yeah. Okay, so that's going to give me back a list of matching items. All right, and now that I have a list of matching items, of all the items in that shopping cart that correspond to book, well, what happened? I'm trying to add an item. Well, if that list is empty, it means that book is not in my shopping cart. Okay, so I'm going to say if matching items is empty, that should be matching items. If that's empty, then I'm going to create a new item. And add that to my shopping cart. And I don't like calling it SC item. I like when things are in complete words. That's just one of my idiosyncrasies. Shopping cart item equals new cart item book, and add that to the cart. If the list is not empty, then the book is in the shopping cart, and the book is only going to be in the shopping cart once. So basically, I'm going to say shopping cart item equals matching items dot get 0. Okay, just get the first item in that list, and I have confidence if I do things right that that's going to be the only item in that list. And since we're adding an item, okay, basically I just want to increment that item, increment the quantity. Okay, so if I had one book in my shopping cart with that title, now I'm going to have 2 books with that title in my shopping cart. And you know, if you're not used to these lambda expressions, it might look funny to you, but once you kind of get used to them, I think it actually, you'll find it a lot easier to read. Basically, look, I'm just getting the matching items. I'm only getting the ones where this thing is true, and I'm turning that into a list. So that's basically the matching items. If there's no matching items in that list, then that means that I have to create a new shopping cart item and add it to the list. If there is a matching item in that list, then I get it and increment its quantity. Okay, and honestly, I mean, if you go back and look at this code, which was the original code, to me, it's easier to read the lambda expressions. That might not be true for everybody, but I'm going to see if I can turn most of these into lambda expressions.